Welcome to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. On today's episode, we are going to break down the season finale of Squid Game: The Challenge. Folks, it's been a crazy season, and as we've seen 456 competitors compete for $4.56 million, and we are down to the final three. Before we dive into this week's episode, thank you guys so much for the continued support of the show. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Thanks for likes, the comments, and everything in between. I would greatly appreciate it if you join me throughout the trek and the journey of other shows that I cover here on the Love and Reality Podcast. I've got a fun interview planned in the very near future regarding a past contestant of Love is Blind, and hopefully we'll have some more things pop up as new shows arise on the reality TV forefront. Folks, before we dive in, this has been quite a crazy turn of events as you have seen some of these cast members finally speak out about some of the games, right? So there's been a lot of drama on the internet. Let's try to dissect some of it before we dive into this episode, right? The red light, green light drama. Apparently, this was filmed over 8 hours, and multiple people collapsed during the 7-hour competition, likely due to cold and fatigue, as the production took 8 hours to set up before the game even began. Apparently, some have refuted this and said that they expected a tough competition, but there's a lot of people that were having issues with back pain and leg pain and all of this pain as they went into this. Now, there's been a rumor that there was apparently a love triangle. Now, Player 301, Trey, claimed that several contestants used lubricant condoms to try and soothe their chapped lips. Now, however, on the flip side, there was rumors that the condoms were provided in case people had sex. Now, see, the weird thing about this is 243 said some contestants were kicked off for hooking up. But if you're providing condoms, that means you know these people are going to hook up. So there's got to be some sort of lies or in between here that we're not 100% sure of. But player 188 has since stated in an interview that he knows two of the three people that were in the love triangle of Joy, player 271, and Alex, player 417. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the drama, all of the things behind the scenes. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the show, but one thing's for sure, we're going to dive right into the finale of the show. We are down to not one, not two, but three people competing for $4.56 million. We have 287, 16, and 451. Everyone is preparing for the finale. 451 and 16 are the best of friends, but 16 says he is unsure what to expect from 287. They both hope they are the final two. 287 is staring at the money and feels alone in the process. She doesn't trust 16, while 451 she feels might be 50-50. We get a montage from each of them making it through the games. It's wild to see the montages and understand the amount of games we don't see where that lengthy period that we talked about, right? There were some clips in this that we saw that we didn't even see in these games. You know what I mean? We were getting some of these games take hours, so we're only getting 10, 15 minutes of these games in front of us. And the crazy to think about this is one of the things that really frustrates me is the dropping through the when they were on the bridge and the people were dropping through the glass. Apparently, they weren't even really dropping through the glass. It was just stunt people. The mother-son combination, don't remember his number off the top of my head, said in an episode of a show that there were stunt people dropping, that he and one other contestant tried to let them do it, let them be the people that dropped through the hole, but apparently not. Apparently they Hollywoodized it and people dropped through, and it was a stunt double that dropped for them through the glass, which is crazy. Like, it's so much of this game feels like a facade and not a real game. But let's keep diving in. The Squid Game soldiers are out, march out, saying they have prepared a special dinner for them. In the boxes are new outfits for our crew to wear to dinner. They are dolled up in suits and ties, bow ties, and they head to dinner. Before dinner, 451 jokes that you have to stab everyone before dinner. And my guy 16, the bearded gang, says, okay. And 451 says, we agreed, no stabbing. And 16 goes, I never agreed to anything. I absolutely love this response. We get plenty of talk, mumbo jumbo about their lives, yada, 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 yada. We get an interruption that only two people will proceed to the final game. There is 3 buttons in front of them. The person that hits it and gets green that person gets to take wins. That person gets to take somebody and pick them to go to the finals. If you get gray, nothing happens. But if it turns red, that person goes home. So you've got like a 33% chance of nothing happening, going to the finale, or going home. They must decide together who will push the button first. See, this is my thing. I'm pretty positive I would have been very assertive in wanting to go first. And I would love to hear everybody's thoughts. Please comment on this podcast, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on Spotify, however you can comment. Please let me figure out, please let me know what you think you would have done in this scenario. Because to be honest with you, I think I would have pushed for me to go first. I've got a 33% chance of it happening. And if the person in front of me goes and they get green, I've got a 50-50 shot that they're going to pick me to win. So the odds are not in my favor, I think. I think I'm going to go out the gate and I'm going to be the one that dictates who's going to go first. 287 obviously stands up and says, I'm going to be it. Again, I don't blame her. She wants to go first and wants to be able to control her destiny. Since one of them gets green, she would not go to the next round, period. You know what I mean? Because she knows in the back of her head that 451 and 16 are a combo, right? So if 16 gets the green, he's taking 451 and vice versa, right? She smashes the triangle, which lights up great. It has 0 consequences. She must return to her seat. So things get a little juicy. By the way, do we think this is like a little bit rigged? I don't know. That's just a question I'm throwing out here, right? 451 and 16 talk about who wants to go because there's a 50-50 chance they either go home or advance. The final two are 16. My bearded game decides to hit the square button and it turned red. Poor guy. I was rooting for him. I feel like anybody that I tried to remotely root for just went home. So I apologize in advance for you guys not winning $4.56 million. Final two is down to 451 and 287. And I really don't care. I really don't. And the thing about it is 451 says, I feel like a coward in the moment. No, dude, you are in the top two, inching towards $4.56 million, fam. Like, quit complaining. I never understand this. We are playing for a abundance of money. This isn't $100,000. This isn't $50,000. This is $4.56 million. I don't know. They pinky promised 451 and 287. Pinky promised they're going to give it all. What does that even mean? Like, why am I going to pinky promise? There's $4.56 million on the line. Why would I not give it my all? I don't understand. Apparently 451's fly was down all night. And then, of course, the big ball of money drops in the middle of the room. We have reached the final game. The foot soldiers told them to follow the staff to head to the game hall. One last wander through the pits of the Squid Games before someone is rich. The winner of the Squid Games will be decided by rock, paper, scissors. And 287 said this was her childhood game and is exciting. Who didn't play? If you were born in like the 70s or 80s, who wasn't like their childhood game of playing rock, paper, scissors? That's all you could do. You couldn't play on video games or anything like that. So you did play rock, paper, scissors. Now, that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts. There's a lot of controversy around rock, paper, scissors being the game that ultimately decided who won the game. Apparently, a lot of people didn't like it. But of course, the rules are as follows in rock, paper, scissors. Rock beats papers. The rocks beat scissors. Scissors beats paper. Paper beats rock. The person who wins selects a key from a box. And if it opens the chest, they win Squid Games. Now, 287 has this whole entire process broken down. She said the adult man pick rock and scissors is where men typically go because rock and scissors is a sign of power. Interesting dynamic. They have to do the rock, paper, scissors behind their back, which locks it in. She nailed it with him going rock. The key doesn't open. We go back and forth and play another round. He goes back to rock. She picks scissors. He wins the round. It's unsuccessful key with his key. So they're playing again. Another round. She wins. Doesn't open the chest. She wins again. Blah, blah, blah. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And opening the chest, and it isn't happening. But ultimately, 287 whoops his ass over and over again. And boom, finally, after a massive back and forth, 287 has won Squid Game, the challenge season 1. I'm not sure how I feel about the winner. Congratulations to 287 for that big old prize because that is a lot of money. I would be interested to find out. They did fly out a lot of people out to LA for the finale, so and some interesting stuff after that. So I would be interested to see if they really do a reunion of any sorts because I feel like that could be very beneficial to a lot of different things. So I do think that the reunion will happen. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would love, there's a lot of dynamic here that I'd love to kind of figure out. And over the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to hear more and more about what happened with the game, more behind the scenes drama and stuff like that. But one thing is for sure, they ended this season by sending out the casting call for next season for Squid Game. So if you are interested in diving into the next season of the Squid Games, they are currently casting for this right now. So hop on over to the, what is it, squidgames.com or something, but just type in Squid Games casting and they're looking for people. So if you want to be on Squid Game Season 2, now is your opportunity. Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of Love and Reality Podcast. Thank you for joining me on this incredibly wild ride of the Squid Games. Again, love to hear your thoughts and comments and stuff like that. And I'll talk to you guys next week.